when grid fails. Now what? Welcome to Grid Down Guide. In a world where power can vanish in an instant, survival isn't just a skill, it's a necessity. We've got the know-how to keep you prepared. Whether you're in the heart of the city or lost in the wilderness, we teach you the essential skills to thrive. Stay tuned. The grid could fail tomorrow. Be ready today.
When the water comes, the grid goes. And it happens faster than most people think. One flash flood, one typhoon, one overflowing river. Just one. And your world can change in a single hour. The storm doesn't wait. It doesn't care how ready you feel. When the water rises, it takes everything with it. Roads, homes, power lines, the internet, and your safety net.
We diligently prepare for floods, reinforcing our homes and stocking up on supplies. We also prepare for blackouts, investing in generators and alternative power sources. But what happens when these two devastating events strike simultaneously, creating a cascading crisis? Floodwater is relentlessly destructive. It doesn't discriminate, ruining everything it touches, from cherished family heirlooms to essential household appliances. The sheer volume and force of the water leave a trail of devastation in its wake. But the danger doesn't stop there. Floodwater also disables the very systems we rely on most in a crisis, critical infrastructure designed to keep us safe and connected. Electricity, the lifeblood of modern society, is immediately compromised. Communication networks falter, leaving us isolated. Transportation grinds to a halt, stranding communities. And even access to clean drinking water becomes a desperate struggle. They're all built on fragile infrastructure that collapses under water pressure. The power of moving water is deceptive. Just 6 inches of moving water, a seemingly insignificant amount, can generate enough force to knock an adult off their feet, leaving them vulnerable and at risk. And a foot of water barely reaching your shins can easily carry away a car, turning it into a dangerous projectile. Now imagine what that same relentless force does to power lines, the arteries of our electrical grid, snapping them like twigs. Consider the impact on transformers, the vital components that regulate voltage, as they become submerged in short-circuit. Think about the underground cables, the hidden pathways of electricity, now vulnerable to corrosion and damage. When electrical infrastructure floods, it doesn't just shut down, plunging communities into darkness. It becomes a significant and immediate danger. Submerged equipment can spark fires, igniting flammable materials and creating widespread conflagrations. The water itself becomes electrocuted, posing a deadly threat to anyone who comes into contact with it, especially in debris-filled water. And the chaos disables emergency services, hindering rescue efforts and delaying critical aid. Hospitals, the beacons of hope in times of crisis, are forced to rely on backup generators, a temporary solution with a limited capacity. Fuel is limited, and resupply routes may be impassable, creating a race against time to maintain essential medical services. Grocery stores lose refrigeration, leading to the spoilage of perishable food and creating shortages of essential supplies. Gas stations shut down, their pumps rendered useless. Because no power means no pumps, leaving vehicles stranded and hindering evacuation efforts. In communication, the lifeline for coordinating aid and staying informed. Cell towers get knocked out by the storm or lose power. Wi-Fi routers go dead as they are submerged. And suddenly, you're offline in every sense of the word. Cut off from the outside world and struggling to navigate the crisis.
Let's walk through what happens in the first 72 hours after a major flood knocks out the grid. Hour 1, 3. The lights go out. Mobile signal becomes spotty. Traffic lights fail. People rush to convenience stores and gas stations. Hour 4, 12. ATMs stop working. Cashless systems crash. Water from taps becomes unsafe, if it flows at all. Families realize they can't refrigerate food or reach emergency contacts. Day 2, 3. Fuel supplies dwindle. Emergency responders are overwhelmed or unable to reach areas at all. Garbage and sewage overflow, creating health hazards. Tempers rise, theft increases. This isn't a Hollywood apocalypse. This is what's happened to real towns, to real people, all over the world. From New Orleans after Katrina, to the Philippines during Typhoon Yolanda, to Germany during the floods of 2021. When water takes out the grid, you lose more than convenience. You lose safety. You lose control. Disasters can strike at any moment, often without warning. But here's the good news. You can prepare for this. You don't need to be a survival expert with years of wilderness training. You just need to start now. taking small, manageable steps to ensure your safety and well-being. Preparing isn't about paranoia, it's about peace of mind. Because the only real difference between those who survive and those who panic is preparation. It's the foresight to anticipate potential problems and the proactive steps taken to mitigate their impact. It's about having a plan and the resources to execute it, ensuring you and your loved ones can weather any storm. Water is survival. Clean, potable water is the most essential resource in any emergency situation. Flood water is not clean. It's full of sewage, gasoline, heavy metals, and bacteria, making it extremely dangerous to drink or even come into contact with. In any emergency, water is the first system to break, and the first thing you'll miss. Municipal water supplies can quickly become compromised due to power outages, infrastructure damage, or contamination. Store at least 3 gallons per person, 1 gallon day minimum. This will cover basic hydration and sanitation needs. Use water bricks, 5-gallon jugs, or stackable containers. These are durable, easy to store, and designed for long-term water storage. Have a water filtration system, LifeStraw, Sawyer Berkey, and purification tablets. These are crucial for treating water from questionable sources, ensuring it's safe to drink. A combination of filtration and purification provides a multi-layered approach to water safety. Use rain barrels for long-term backup, providing a sustainable source of water, but only before flooding begins, as floodwaters can contaminate your collection system. Ensure your rain barrels are properly sealed and maintained to prevent contamination. Power independence. Maintaining access to power is vital for communication, information, and basic comfort. You don't need to power your whole house, just the essentials. Prioritize devices that will keep you informed and connected. Focus on lighting, communication, and charging devices. These are the most critical for staying safe and informed during an emergency. Having reliable lighting can reduce accidents and improve morale. A solar generator, like Jackery, EcoFlow, Bluetti, can power radios, small fridges, and phones, providing a sustainable and reliable source of electricity. These generators are quiet, portable, and can be recharged using solar panels. Keep portable power banks charged. These are essential for keeping your mobile devices running when the power is out. Get one with at least 20,000,000 mAh to ensure multiple charges for your phone and other devices. Buy a hand-crank flashlight and solar lantern. These provide reliable light sources that don't rely on batteries, ensuring you'll always have illumination when you need it. Rechargeable AA batteries plus a solar battery charger are cheap, lightweight, and reliable. This combination allows you to recharge your batteries using solar power, providing a sustainable and cost-effective solution for powering small devices. Build a flood-ready bug-out bag. In a flood, time is of the essence, and you may need to leave your home in a matter of minutes. Having a well-prepared bug-out bag can be the difference between safety and disaster. This isn't just about grabbing a bag. It's about thoughtfully assembling a kit that addresses your specific needs during a flood emergency. Your go bag should be waterproof to protect its contents from water damage, light enough to carry comfortably over long distances, and packed with essential items that will help you survive for at least 72 hours. Consider a backpack with multiple compartments for organization and easy access to critical supplies. Pack emergency food, focusing on non-perishable items that require no cooking. MREs, meals ready to eat, and freeze-dried food pouches are excellent choices due to their long shelf life and nutritional value. Remember to account for the caloric needs of each person who will be relying on the bag. Water is crucial. Pack at least 2 liters of water per person, or consider including collapsible canteens or a water filter to purify water from natural sources. Staying hydrated is essential for maintaining energy and cognitive function during a stressful situation. A comprehensive first aid kit is a must-have. Include bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, and any personal medications. Also, make copies of important IDs and documents, such as driver's licenses, passports, insurance cards, and birth certificates. Store these copies in waterproof Ziploc bags to protect them from water damage. Pack extra clothing suitable for various weather conditions, including socks, underwear, shirts, pants, and a waterproof rain gear. Consider using compression bags to minimize space and keep your clothing dry and organized. A reliable flashlight with extra batteries is essential for navigating in the dark. An emergency blanket can provide warmth and protection from the elements, especially if you are stranded outdoors. A whistle can be used to signal for help. A knife is a versatile tool for various tasks.
and a length of strong rope or paracord can be used for securing items, building shelter, or rescue operations. A local map paper is crucial for navigation, especially if electronic devices fail. Cash and small bills can be useful for purchasing essential items if electronic payment systems are down. A phone charger and power bank will help you keep your communication devices running. Medications are critical. Pack at least a 7-day supply of any prescription medications you or your family members require. A small towel, mask, gloves, and a hygiene kit containing items like soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, and hand sanitizer will help you maintain cleanliness and hygiene environment. Don't forget your pets. Include food, water, and any necessary medications for them. Don't forget your elders. Ensure they have their medications, assistive devices, and any other items they may need. If it's not packed, you're gambling with time you won't have. Every minute counts during a flood emergency, and having a pre-packed bug-out bag can save precious time and potentially lives.
Know your risk. Flood maps exist for a reason. They provide valuable information about areas that are prone to flooding. Understanding your risk is the first step in preparing for a flood. Know if you're in a floodplain or storm surge zone. These areas are at higher risk of flooding and require specific preparedness measures. Coastal communities should be aware of storm surge risks, while inland areas should understand their proximity to floodplains. You can't prepare for what you don't see coming. Staying informed about weather patterns and potential flood threats is crucial for effective preparedness. Monitor weather forecasts regularly and pay attention to any warnings or advisories issued by local authorities. Check your local flood risk zone using online tools provided by FEMA or your local government. These tools allow you to enter your address and determine your flood risk based on official flood maps. Find the nearest evacuation center or elevated shelter in your area. These facilities are designated safe havens during flood emergencies and provide temporary shelter and resources for those who have been displaced. Pre-plan 2 evacuation routes, one on foot in case roads are impassable, and one by car if driving is possible. Having alternative routes ensures that you can evacuate safely regardless of the conditions. Identify neighbors who may need help, especially elderly or disabled individuals who may have difficulty evacuating on their own. Offer assistance and ensure they have a plan in place. Stay informed. Don't rely solely on your phone when disaster strikes. Cell service can be unreliable during a flood and you may not be able to access important information or communicate with others. Cell towers go down and signals disappear, leaving you without a vital communication lifeline. Be prepared for the possibility of communication disruptions and have alternative methods for receiving information. You need old-school backups. Rely on analog communication devices that don't depend on cell service or internet connectivity. Buy a NOAA weather radio with hand crank and solar options. These radios broadcast official weather alerts and emergency information from the National Weather Service, even during power outages. Sign up for local emergency alerts through your city or county's notification system. These alerts can provide timely warnings about impending floods and other hazards. Learn the meaning of a flood watch versus a flood warning. A watch indicates that conditions are favorable for flooding, while a warning means that flooding is imminent or already occurring. Understanding the difference can help you take appropriate action. Follow pre-disaster checklists every 3-6 months to ensure that your emergency supplies are up to date, your evacuation plan is still relevant, and your family is prepared for a flood. Regular review and practice are essential for effective preparedness. Disasters aren't just coming. They're already here. The storms are stronger. The floods are deeper. And the grid is older than you think. When the water comes, the grid goes. But you don't have to be helpless. You don't have to wait for someone to save you. The truth is, the people who fare best in any disaster aren't the strongest or the smartest. They're the ones who prepared. Prepare now, and you won't just survive. You'll lead. You'll be the calm in the chaos, the light in the dark, the one others turn to when everything else fails. Disasters aren't just coming. They're already here. The storms are stronger. The floods are deeper. And the grid is older than you think. When the water comes, the grid goes. But you don't have to be helpless. You don't have to wait for someone to save you. The truth is, the people who fare best in any disaster aren't the strongest or the smartest. They're the ones who prepared. Prepare now, and you won't just survive. You'll lead. You'll be the calm in the chaos, The light in the dark, the one others turn to when everything else fails.
Prepare now. Hands urgently pack emergency survival kit. Survive anything. Subscribe now. Grid Down Guide.